One gunshot in space could create a bullet that never stops, never slows, and never forgets. Pulling a trigger in space wouldn't just fire a bullet, it would rewrite your motion forever. Now imagine this scene. You are floating in open space. There is no ground beneath your feet, no wind against your face, no sound at all. Stars hang motionless in the black sky, and far below you, Earth curves softly in blue and white. In your hands, you are holding a gun. Not in a movie, not in a game, but in real space. The question is simple, yet unsettling. What actually happens if you pull the trigger? To understand the answer, we need to break space down as it truly is, a place without air, without friction, and without mercy for mistakes. And the science behind this scenario is far more fascinating than anything Hollywood has ever shown. The first question most people ask is whether a gun would even work in space. Surprisingly, the answer is yes. A gun does not need oxygen from the surrounding air to fire. The gunpowder inside the cartridge already contains its own oxidizer. When the trigger is pulled, the firing pin strikes the primer, the gunpowder ignites, and expanding gases force the bullet down the barrel. Space does not stop this process. The gun fires normally, exactly as it would on Earth. But this is where space begins to change everything. On Earth, when you fire a gun, you barely move. Gravity holds you down, and the mass of the planet absorbs almost all of the recoil. In space, there is nothing to anchor you. According to Newton's third law, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. When the bullet shoots forward, you are pushed backward with equal momentum. The astronaut holding the gun would begin drifting in the opposite direction. The movement wouldn't be violent or explosive, but it would be unavoidable. And if the gun is fired even slightly off-center, the astronaut would start to spin. In the silence of space, one careless trigger pull could send you slowly rotating into the void with no easy way to stop yourself. Next comes the question of where the bullet goes. On Earth, bullets lose speed quickly because air resistance slows them down and gravity pulls them towards the ground. In space, neither of those forces are present. There is almost no air resistance and no friction. Once the bullet leaves the barrel, nothing is trying to stop it. Unless it collides with something massive enough to absorb its energy, a planet, a moon, a star, or a piece of space debris. Otherwise, it continues endlessly, a permanent reminder that space remembers everything. Gravity, however, can change the story. If the gun is fired near Earth or another planet, gravity will slowly curve the bullet's path. Instead of traveling in a straight line forever, the bullet may follow an orbital trajectory. In a strange twist of physics, if an astronaut fired a gun sideways while orbiting Earth, the bullet could theoretically circle the planet. In extreme cases, it could even come back. Yes, you could fire a bullet, wait hours, and be struck by your own shot. Not because space is mysterious or supernatural, but because gravity is patient and relentless. Another common question is how the gunshot would look and sound. There would be no sound at all. Sound requires air molecules to travel, and space has almost none. Outside the astronaut's helmet, the gunshot would be completely silent. No bang, no echo, just emptiness. Visually, however, the moment would still be dramatic. The muzzle flash would appear briefly as a sharp burst of light against the endless darkness, a silent flame in a universe that does not respond. Inside the astronaut's helmet, vibrations might be felt through the body or suit, but the universe itself would remain quiet. This is where movies get it wrong. Hollywood portrays loud gunfire, powerful recoil, glowing bullet trails, and bullets that conveniently stop. In reality, gunfire in space would be silent, subtle, and terrifyingly permanent. Every shot would matter. Every mistake would last. Space does not forgive errors, it preserves them. So let's bring it all together. Who is affected when a gun is fired in space? The shooter, drifting backward with no natural way to stop. Where does the bullet go? Into endless darkness, unless gravity bends its path. When does it stop? Only when it collides with something powerful enough to stop it. How does it all happen? Through simple, unstoppable laws of physics. No explosions, no dramatic sound effects, just cold, beautiful reality. So what if you shot a gun in space? The gun fires. You move, the bullet becomes eternal. One small action creates motion that could outlive planets, and that is the terrifying beauty of space. If space, science, and mind-bending questions fascinate you, you're in the right place. Subscribe to Space Facts for more unbelievable truths about the universe, hidden physics behind everyday questions, and mysteries that will change how you see space forever.